Hello everyone, my name is Fulya Çelikel Soğancı, aka the Synth Lady. I work for KB331 Audio. We are the creators of SynthMaster. I'm here today to introduce to you the new features we have been implementing for our flagship desktop version SynthMaster 2.9, which as you know is recently updated to 2.9.9. This is exactly a step before our SynthMaster 3, which is scheduled to be released next year. I will be showing the new features of SynthMaster 2.9.9 update within Studio One. What you see on the screen is how our skin looks to most of our users. This is the Retina skin for version 2.9.8. Now we have something new. We have new dark skins designed by Satya Tunes. You can very easily change them this way. You go and change global skin. By the way, you can always change according to preset as well, but the easiest is to change global skin and you go to Satya Tunes dark. Voila, now we have a new layout, more contrast, and all in all, it's easier to follow. The sound design procedure is greatly facilitated with this new skin. I'm going to now show you how. The first of many differences with the previous skin is that now we have an extended version that includes a piano keyboard. This is how you can go to that. Just go to the Satya Tunes Dark XT Extended and voila, you have the piano keyboard. We have one more, which is my favorite actually. This is the Tranquil Blue. Looks very nice. And a nice thing you can discover with this, besides the keyboard, is that at the right hand, there is this triangle. Might be in the shape of dots, might be in the shape of a little cursor. All you do is to drag and resize the synth. With the keyboard version though, besides of course inputting notes, we have some more workflow improvements. When you look at first glance, you're going to see that there is more and more information available. We have also added some new buttons here. We added a dedicated tab for easy knobs and XY pads. So these are going to really facilitate what you do. About the note input methods, of course, this is your traditional MIDI keyboard way. Now we have the means just to input notes by your mouse, and then you can cycle with the cursor keys. Very nice, neat method for finding your favorite preset. Then this is also enabled. What you do is just to enable the keyboard input by typing yes, you're going to see that your QWERTY keyboard is now assigned to particular notes and you can play them just by your computer keyboard actually. Very useful features. By the way, did you notice the animations? Let's take a closer look at those animations. Actually, now SynthMaster gives you visual feedback to follow up the workflow, what the synth is doing. I don't have to explain what a useful tool this is. If you look at the graphic user interface right now, you're going to notice that some of the tabs are highlighted orange. Just look at this velocity, for instance. When you click on them, you're going to see what modulations actually are targeted and what are triggered by the velocity changes. Now, for instance, my mod wheel has quite a crowded mod matrix. So when I play something, you see the synth is already telling me what is happening. If I trigger now the mod wheel, this is what's going to happen. Imagine I would like to create even more modulations. This is very easy now with just dragging and dropping. I choose the mod wheel and just, for instance, drag it on the filter drive. See what happens. It's going to highlight orange. You can change how much you would like the modulation to be in effect. Now, when you look at the mod matrix for mod wheel, you're going to see that the drive is added and you're going to see an orange dot moving within that arch to tell you exactly how much filter is applied. There's another very handy method if you want to dress up your MIDI controller with SynthMaster. This you can just go through the easy knobs here. And you will see that there are some dedicated buttons and the XY pads here. By MIDI learning, you can very powerfully use these tools to modulate any parameter from your MIDI keyboard. Now I'm going to use my easy control number 1. Let's first MIDI learn so that SynthMaster knows which knob I'm assigning on my MIDI keyboard to that parameter. Now I want my volume to be controlled by that easy one. So what I do is to add modulation, go to easy controls, easy one. Now my volume is going to be manipulated from my MIDI keyboard very easily. You can do this for pretty much everything. As some of you might know, SynthMaster is a Turkish company. So we're used to hearing around us musics which are not entirely made with the Western major minor system using the chromatic scale. This gave us inspiration to implement microtones and microtonal scales to SynthMaster. This is how we did it. Now SynthMaster has hundreds of scales. You can just tap into them from here, this drop-down menu, and change according to how many scale degrees your scale has. Let's tap into one of the 7-note alternate scales. For instance, when I go to an Arabic scale, my tuning, my intonation for particular notes is going to change. Let's hear it. You see, for instance, the E flat is really not an E flat. It's neither an E. It's somewhere in between. These tunings we have taken along with the scalar material from Scala.com. This is a public domain website. Intonation information in terms of frequency values is to be found there. And you can also change your home key. You can change your scale root note. Right now, my Arabic scale runs from C. What if my ensemble is playing with the root note G? All I do is to change it from here. Let me go to G4. And you see now different notes light up, different keys of my keyboard light up. Now my Arabic scale is built from G. Let's try another scale. This is a dastgah, meaning a Persian scale. Again, with the key center G4. Now this is going to sound dramatically different. You see that second degree of the scale. It's neither an A nor an A flat, and this very cool microtonal material is really going to give your music a regional flair. Now, SynthMaster, of course, has another means. If you're unsure about the theory or if your keyboard skills are really not good enough to follow the scale, you can just fill octave and only the used scale degrees light up. This is also very convenient to compose. A cool new feature for version 2.9.9 is that now discrete parameters are also controllable by MIDI Learn. So you can assign the controllers on your MIDI keyboard to discrete parameters as well. Now I'm going to actually assign a fader that I have on my MIDI keyboard to my oscillator unison. So if I just middle learn preset or global if you wish to, and move the slider, it's going to be assigned, and this is what it does. So we can, of course, in the meantime, assign any knob you have on the mode matrix by, again, middle learn, or you can assign any knob you see on the graphic user interface, again, by middle learn. What I will do is, say, resonance. I'm going to just middle learn my third knob from the right of my MIDI keyboard. So it's going to just create a different filter shape. So what I do, and I play the same chord, we have taken a lot of user feedback into consideration to redesign our workflow for our envelopes. Actually, there is quite some improvement here, as you can see, besides, of course, the visual feedback. Now we have divided the LFOs into LFOs and sequencers, and this is very handy in case you would like to create patterns in terms of the envelopes application to your sound. So now we have actually made it possible with the mouse wheel to switch between, for instance, our multi-segment envelopes here. With multi-segment envelopes, we have actually enabled by left click adding new segments and just changing them according to whatever geometry you would like to have. And in case you didn't like anything, let me make really a weird shape here. So I didn't like much anything, then I can just remove with the right click. Also, undo and redo works very well now. I didn't like this, so I just undo. I want it back. I can redo. Besides, of course, you can apply sequences to your sound. We have actually enabled the dual mode. This means that you can switch between two sequences. Now I'm going to just modulate my crossfader here with my mod wheel. So when I turn the mod wheel, it's going to switch between these two envelopes. This is what my sound is like. And now I'm going to switch between these two sequences. As you can see, it's very easy to design, for instance, evolving paths with such effects. Another nice thing is now we have also implemented this gate here, which means I can change how long this sequence is going to be applied to the sound. So here goes. This is really going to help you a lot with the visual feedback to design your dream presets. A new feature in SynthMaster 2.9.9 is actually that you can create multiple copies of effects and insert them anywhere you would like in your workflow. As you see in this diagram, this is by purpose chosen organ sound because organs, as you know, are rather full of effects. So now I'm going to customize all this. I'm going to enter multiple copies of the same effects. And to do that, I go to the effects and check out that I, for instance, have a distortion effect in both layers. I don't want this. Instead, I would like to have a chorus. So that's what I'm doing. I'm basically changing in both layers distortion into chorus, and you can actually just customize by choosing which layer. And for instance, instead of the lo-fi, I would like another chorus. But this time, I want my pattern to be different, so I'm just going to load the presets. And here it goes. Now the effect is very different. But I would rather have an ensemble effect. Okay, so now I have two ensembles for layer 2, and I can customize them however I like. These two are already different, and I would like to change some parameters still. It's perfectly possible from here now. So there are actually presets for almost anything. You can very easily find out what you want and customize your sounds accordingly. I think I will go for some reverb. So you go and increase the reverb time from here, reverb size. And I want it more in my mix. Check this out. This is what I want, so I can now make it the way I like and using multiple copies of effects. Final improved feature I would like to talk about is our preset browser. We have made some changes here, such as nearing the NKS system of native instruments by creating further categories, deeper instrument types. For example, if you look at flute now, we have these different categories of flute actually. And you can assign your presets these further categories as well. When you go to browser, you're going to notice that for each preset, we have either prefixes giving its category or suffixes, these two initials that give you the authorship, the author's name. And a new feature that you will definitely find very useful is that you can mark your favorites. Just light up the purple stars. If you want to filter according to your favorites, all you do is to click my favorites, and SynthMaster is going to list you what you have marked for further use. A nice thing also is that you can synchronize your presets between your devices. Just go and left click. You're going to see sync my presets with cloud, and you can easily therefore use the same presets between your devices. We also have a public library which is hosted on the cloud, so you can share your preset with others and download presets by other users from the cloud. To upload a preset of your make, let me find my own preset. So you have to really enter these details, write the authorship and such, make sure that the preset is yours. And then you have to save it, save preset, upload to public user library. Are you sure you want? Say yes, and it is going. The same way you can also download other users' presets from the library. This you do by clicking from the browser online. So you're going to see different authors creating all these new presets. It's actually quite an adventure to discover what other users have managed to create in terms of interesting new trials at sound design from the SynthMaster preset library.
I hope you have liked what you have seen and what you have heard. I'm looking forward to next year when around this time I'm anticipating I will be filming an exact same demo, this time on SynthMaster 3. We are planning to go beta around summer in July, and then we hope to release the finished, squeaky clean, bug-free version for the holiday season in 2021. We are working hard on the development, and the crucial part was really to get all these changes going for our existing, rather trustworthy SynthMaster 2. So from there, you're just an update away to hopefully the most powerful synth that you will be using for pretty much every genre of music. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Visit our webpage to make use of the winter sale. We still have some very strong deals going on. And I'm hoping to see you again for many presentations to come.